Hello, I am audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, my screen is visible. Hello, anybody? My screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So today we'll see the introduction to MATLAB. Anyhow, some of you already learned in the simulation techniques subject, but what I will do is first I will refresh this introduction briefly, today's and tomorrow. Then we'll start the actual application, like optimization algorithms. I mentioned some of the algorithms. Once if you are able to understand these algorithms, then we can able to solve by your own a lot of projects or a lot of papers in the related to optimization algorithms or many other techniques also, because it is only the basic understanding how we can able to implement journal paper. So that is very useful for your project and all. That's why what I will do is I will explain in detail of algorithms so that it is easy for you to understand how we can able to implement the things. So before going to that, I will explain briefly, or you can say that recap of introduction. Now we'll see. Yeah, some of introductions, variables and relational logical operators, conditional statement, input, output, all these things we'll see. First, in the MATLAB, after opening, we need to give some name of the file. That is also some of the restriction is there. Like, up to 31 characters only it will take it. And many contain letters, digits, underscore is eligible. But if you start with a number, first, I mean, file name is start with number or special characters, it will not acceptable. And also, this is a case sensitive. If small a or capital A and all, you have to take care. Whatever variable name if you use, that variable name only you have to use further. Instead of A, if you use capital A, it won't recognize. That's why it is a case sensitive. And file name must be start with the letter only, not number or special characters. That is one thing. And this is the MATLAB window. If you open the command window will be there. You can type it is act as a calculator as well. Whatever small equations directly we can type and enter, it will give the result. And this is the command window. Suppose 39 into 4.4 plus 5 something. If you type the double arrow here, you can see double arrow indicate that this. Will show you just a minute. Yeah, so this double arrow indicate that ready. After that, you can type any equation. So if you enter this, it will get the result will be like this. Otherwise, what will happen? If you make it a semicolon, the results will not display, but it will be executed. And this what the result after typing something. And you can see here any equation I want to type. There is a difference I'm showing here. A is equal to 5. I use as a semicolon, and then B is equal to A by 2. If I enter these two things, A will not be displayed, but A value already there because it is executed. But A by 2, it will give as a 2.5. It is showing result, but whereas previous one, it is not showing the result because of the semicolon. That is the important in the semicolon. And here this also very important while you are using hello, I'm audible. Hello, Babu, I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, this some of the things exist and clear. Suppose you want to clear the window, we can type a clear command. CLC means simply it will erase, but it will clear, but inside data will not be erased. But if you use clear, the total data going to be erased. Or any variable you want to erase means data you want to use again a is something else value. You can or somebody already used and you want to you don't want to call back that value, you can use a clear A or clear all. That will give clear all the data, those who are already used that variable. And these are the simple, just recapping. That's why I will go a little bit faster. Then while you are going real optimization algorithms, we will go for in detail of in depth. But these things are symbol, additional plus and minus, all these things are already known. That's why I just am scrolling. And then relational operators. It is very important while you are writing a program and all, the relational and logical operators and all. In a relational operator, you can see that it will return true or false. Less than or equal and equal. So these are the some of the parameters we can able to use this. Am I audible? Something power is coming and
Yes,
going.
sir.
Yeah, audible. Okay. If any case I'm not audible, you try to call me so that I will rectify. Yeah. So now we can see equal. Here we have to use double equal symbol when we want to compare. And not equal means this is the symbol. And after that, I will show some examples. What I am asking is A is equal to 10 and I am comparing equal symbol is equal to 12. Then what is it? 10 is not equal to 12. No, that's why I mention as equal symbol. Then the result will be 0. And similarly, 10 not equal to 10 I mentioned. That's why result will be 0 again. And whereas here you can see 3 is equal to 35 minus 32. So what is 35 minus 32 is 3 only. So 3 is equal to 3. That's why it's showing as a 1. Here the thing is if it is true, result will be 1. If it is false, results will be 0. That is only thing. Now you can see I mentioned as one vector. As array, you can see 1, 4, 2, 6, 3, 8, 4, 0. And if I enter that, the results will be like this. After that, I'm comparing. X is greater than or equal to 3. Then what is your result? It is very simple. X value and you check with 3. First value is 1. 1 is greater than or equal to 3. It is a false. That's why 0. And 4 is greater than or equal to 3. It is a true. That's why 1. Like that. So just compare the value, and if greater than or equal to 3 means make it 1, otherwise it will be 0 by default. Similarly, element by element, all these things. Other command you can see X is a matrix and then Y also matrix. While you are comparing matrix to matrix, this will take it as a element by element comparison. In that you can see R is equal to X is equal to Y. I want to know when X is at what value X is equal to Y. So that is the reason we can see that whenever the values are same, then it returns the 1. If it is not same, return to the 0. Now we can see first element here X is 8 and X is 1 y is 8. That's why these two are not same. So that is the reason we got the result is 0. And similarly, 5 and 5, it is true. That's why 1. We can see when the element is same, because equal symbol case I'm telling, it will be 1, otherwise it will be 0. And the other thing you can see, r is equal to x is greater than or equal to y. X is greater than or equal to y, where whenever the value is more than or equal to y, it will return 1, otherwise it will be 0. Similarly, now we can see something I given a lot of examples so we can compare. First, what it will do inside, there is x less than 5, it will return some value. Now I will check one value. In this case, first element 1. Here is a less than 5, it is a true. So inside it is a 1, and y is greater than or equal to 0. So y case 8 is there, and it is a greater than or equal to 0 only. So it is also true 1. So here 1 and here 1, both are same. That's why return will be 1, like that. So we have to compare the element, and inside also you will compare within the box whatever value you are getting, that will be displayed. And similarly, you can see the relational operators only. X is given, y is given, and then you have to compare x less than y. What it will do, element by element, it will compare, and it will give the result of whether it is a true or false. But I want value. So in that y of x less than y, then what it will do, inside it will go this thing, that value is going to be wherever 1 is there, in that corresponding, here you can see that these are ones. So and here is 1, total 4 values. That 4 values it will be displayed here. So this is easy way to compare, and you can see the logical operator as well. And here combination also we can use it, relational operator as well as the logical operator, both you can use it. In this case, you can see temperature not equal to 25 and humidity less than 60. In this both and symbol, similar fashion, exam grade is less than 45 or marks is less than 45, or attendance is less than or equal to 75, then you can go for result for this. So like that, any one is satisfied, we can write some code, or both need to satisfy, then only other code will be executed. Like that, we can able to write a logical operator as well. Here there is a logical operator, so two things are there. Here small and symbol, and here is a capital and two and symbols. One and symbol and second and symbol is different. Is one thing we can see both cases anyhow. First thing, a double end and single end. In a case of single end, x has to be true and then y has to be true. Then only result will be true. We have to do calculation both. X calculation you have to do whether it is a true or false. Then y calculation you have to do true or false. Both is true, it will give 1. Or else in the double end symbol, it will work. It will do is work between scalar values only, but and works with either scalar or a array value. So both will be possible in the one and symbol. But the major part in the calculation, what it will do, you can see here. First B1 will calculate, let us do that. Then B2 you need to calculate only if B1 is true. The reason is, you can see this is the and symbol, let us assume that, or y is equal to anything, any variable. So any one, we are comparing A and B. If A is true and B is false, or A itself as a false, no need to go for B. The calculation you can easily save, because anyhow it is under symbol. Any one is fails, automatically result will be fail. That is the reason we don't require to calculate further. So this is the case, one and symbol and double and symbol. One and symbol, if I use both, you have to calculate, then it will go for comparison. And double and symbol, it will calculate one first. If it is true, then only it will move on to the second calculation. Otherwise, it will give the result as a false. That's it. Similar fashion, R symbol, all these things. This I given as a, what you call it, as a truth table for AND symbol, R logical operator and XR logical operator, all this. Now we can see how we can utilize this operation. This as well, you know that and symbol and all, this thing. And you can x is given and y is given. Wherever this can see that all non-zero values treated as a 1. That's why these things are true. And non-zero values means it treated as a true. Now we will check and symbol. You can see x and y. How these results will be displayed. First x is first value. Let it be 1. And y is 3. What is these two? Both are true. If it is true, then result will be true. So I will take one marker, just a minute. Just a minute. Marker is not coming, only laser pointer. Okay. I see this. Yeah. When you are comparing x and y, what will represent here? So when x and y both are non-zero, it is a true. That's why it written 1. But second case, you can see this is -3 and here y is 0. So 1 is fail. That's why written will be fail 0. And like that, you can check it. Last one 3, 4. Both is true. Then the written value will be 1. So like that. And R symbol, what is this? Any one is true, so our 0 is there, 1 it will make it, but any one is true, it will return the value. Now we can see here x is 1 and y is 3. So both are true. So it will return the 1. So or else also any one is true, it will return. Similarly, we can go for as a logical operator, some other operations also given, but logical and relational both I mentioned here, you can check it. X greater than 1 and here y is equal to 0 or y is less than or equal to 3. So in this case, what we'll do is we'll calculate first inside x greater than 1. So what is one value? It is a fail. So it is false. If it is false, even this side is true also, anyhow false. That's why it written as a 0. Like that, one by one you can check it. Inside brackets you have to calculate first, then next inside bracket like that, and then operators you can check it. So in this case, what we'll do is both we are doing what you can call it as a logical operator as well as the relational operator. And one important thing while you are doing the problem, this type of questions will arise. Suppose equation x square plus 2x plus 3, x is 0 to 5 or -5 to +10, something like that. Some condition is mentioned, how to handle the condition. So for that, we can see that write the relational operator 5 less than x and then less than 10 in a MATLAB. What we'll do is x must be, suppose I given x value is 7. I want to know whether this 7 is within the limits or not, true or false. Now, how to handle first this case? One condition is mentioned, x is less than 10 and x is greater than 5. So use that way and use and symbol, it will be checked. So now we can see x greater than 5 because first thing is this one and both. It has to be satisfy both condition and x less than 10. So now we can make it as a x less than 10. So we'll get it as a result is a true. And similarly, otherwise also you can write, you can see 5 less than x and x less than 10. Both sides is fine because we are interchanging this x and 5. That's why symbol also will reverse. So that is only the thing. So this is very important while we are handling the power system problems and all. Like what you have power system, what generator stations. Suppose 5 generating plants are there. They may give each generator unit minimum range and maximum range. We have to generate a power within the limits only. So now for that one we go for algorithms and all, we have to try for that whether it is a within the limits or not. That is the reason what we'll do is this limits handling is very important. So that is one thing. And then we can see here logical operators. X is given, Y is given. Then they asked Z is equal to X and Y. Then what is the Z values? It is showing all ones. What is the reason? First, you can check all non-zeros without the calculation anything. If the elements are non-zero, it will treat it as a true. That's why true X is all non-zeros, true only. Y also non-zeros, true only. Element by element to check it. Here for even minus also no matter, but it is a non-zero value. Then only it will return the true value. Now 5, 9. So both are true. That's why return true. Then minus 3, 13 true. Return 1 like that. So this is the case. Now, how to write a program for this? Determine the value of the expression. All of you try yourself. I will show the results anyhow. So what I have to do is A, B, C values are given, D value is given. I have to write a expression. How to write the expression? First you define the A, B, C, D values. Then directly something you want to assign any variable, you can something Z is equal to, you can write. Otherwise, directly you can type that. It will give result means ANS is equal to, it will show the results. Now you can see here A is 2, B is 3, C is minus 4. First you have to write that. You can see the program how I'm writing. A is 2, B is 3, minus 4, minus 3. And then this, what you call it as expression A into means star mark, B plus C again star mark, C plus D and into A. So that we have to specify very clearly brackets and all, then only it will give the correct answer. Even if you miss that, somewhere if you bracket changed or something, but the syntax is correct, it will return the value, but it may not be correct value. So that is the, you have to take care of that. And then you can see now this also you can write. First you have to define ABC values, then B minus A by the how to use the brackets accurately, that will give the results. Nothing is there. So I will show for this also. First I have to define the variables, then something I'm assigning to X, or X is equal to B minus A by, you can see how we have to use the brackets. So this is the important. Once if it is correct, you will get the results correctly. So that is the way we can able to write a program small. Okay. Why I am starting is, if you go for optimization algorithms and all for big projects related work, we need to use the many of equations, many parameter, many cases you have to handle, whether it is true or false based on that, or whether it is a minimum limit or maximum limit, or it is within the limits or not. Then only you have to assign this variable to something else. Like that, many cases we need to check. Before going to that main issue, we must know how to handle the variables. And some other cases also, I want to round it, or upper limit or lower limit and so on. For that, inbuilt functions are there, round. Now, round means nearest integer. Suppose if it is a 3.4, then it will treat it as a 3 only. 3.6, it will treat it as a 4, like that. And C, the seal will be always up to the nearest integer. And floor and fix remainder and modulus ABC will be the C. I will show the example so that it is easy for understand. Instead of state this sentence, I will show the example. If I give 2.4, what will happen? Or 2.8, what will happen? For the round case, seal case, 4 case, or fixed case, like that. Remainder x comma y, what it will do is x value and y value, it will divide and remind it will give. So modulus value it will give. ABS means absolute value, and sign whether it is a positive or negative, and factor it will give the factorial value. So now we can see first 2.34. Round I use 2.34. Why it is given as a 2? Because it is less than 0.5. And other case, round 2.53. It is more than 5. That's why we got it as a 3 here. Now same case we will see the seal. If I use seal 2.6, it will be 3. 2.4, it will be 3. That means it will always go for as a upper side. Whether even 2.1 also, it will go for as a upper side. The reason is, suppose as you know, suppose string, in the string efficiency case, or number of insulators, or number of SCRs, in number of alternators, while you're doing calculation, it is going suppose 2.5 or 2.1 or 2.9. So it not be fractional, it is an integer number, whether it is a 3 SCRs I have to use or 5 SCRs I have to use, like that. It is a number. That is the reason it should be always upper side. Otherwise, what will happen? It will go for an overload case. Even if it is zero point 0.1 also, the load is going to be overloaded. It should not overload some point of time. That is the reason it will be in those cases we can use as a seal. And floor, what it is happening floor, it is always lower, like it is opposite to that of seal. So seal is 2.67 and here 2.46, both cases is 3, but floor is always lower side, 2.3 or 2.9 or 2.7 or 2.1, everything will be two side only. Means some cases, something minimization case, you should not go for beyond that cost and all. Any, that is all depends on your requirement. You have to use either it is floor or seal, or you don't want anything to modify, you can use directly variable as well, directly variable. And here also you can see fix also 2.3 or 2.8, both it is going to be as a lower side also. But digits, we can fix it based on the format. You can see that format short. The result should be, I want 4 digits. You can use as a format short. A result should be in the higher results or smaller results. In terms of the e power, you can use format short e. So all your results in terms of the e power it will show. Format long also, but it will show many number of digits as well as e powers notation if I use. And format short, as I said, it is a fixed digits, 4 digits only. And bank, it will be 2 digits only, because some cases we required the results in the some specified number of digits. For that case, we can use this. And then you can see S is a vector. What is inside it is there 1 by 2, 1 by 3, pi square root 2. So here some of the inbuilt keywords are there. Anyhow, you know that, but just share you once briefly. Pi you should not use in the name in case of file name or and all variable and all, because pi itself is a one number value 3.141 something. So that you should not use. And sqrt, it is also square root of 2. So all these values you cannot in the, what we can do is 1 by 3 and pi square root 2. So therefore, format short s, format long s, format rat. Rat is rational person, like this 1 by 2 or 1 by 3, whatever value is there. Suppose the result is 0.5. It won't show as a 0.5, it will show as a 1 by 2 if I use that. So similarly, there is some format you can see how to use short. I already mentioned 4 digits. Long, it will show the more number of digits. And then rat, rational fashion, it will show. And normal format means it is a 4 digits by default. And then vectors, how to handle a vector, how to create numbers in a vector, how to retrieve that numbers and all, we can able to see. For this, you can see that vectors R1 colon 5. So here colon is a like a for loop and all, we know, no, 1 to 3 or 4 to 5 or something. In this is the manner for vectors or matrix and all. In generally, number game will be like this. So 1 to 5 meaning that starting value is 1, 5 is a ending value. But what is the incremented value? If you not specify anything, default 1 is the incremented value. But you want any specific increment, you must specify. So 1 is colon, or 1 is 2, minus 2 is 2, or something, or plus 1 is 2. 1 means you don't use, but 2 is to 10. Then 1 is to 2 is to 10 means first value is 1, next value is 2, then 4, then 6, and so on up to 10. That is the syntax. Now I shown 1 is to 2 is to 5, let it be. First value is 1, second value will be 2, then again you can add the plus 2, means 1 plus 2 3, then 1 plus 3 plus 2 5, like that it will get it here. And whereas here 0.5 is increment, starting value is 1, ending value is 3.5 and incremented by 0.5. So therefore 1.5, then after the 1.5, 1, then 1.5, then another 0.5 means 2, then 2.5, like that. It will go. And then you can see that you can able to give your value directly also. Suppose you want that way, you can give it one way. Otherwise also you want to specify fixed values directly. There is a create vector 1, 3, 5 or any values you can give it. Another useful parameter is a line space. What is the difference between these two? You can check. Whereas I want 1 to 3.5. Within that, I want 10 values. Then what is the incremented value? We need to calculate and we have to provide there. Suppose I want only 10 values or I want 20 values. Again, I have to find some incremented value to get the 20 values. Otherwise, whatever incremented if we give, it will give the value. But I want specific number only. Some start with 2 and with 10. I want 1000 values. Then how to define? It is a complicated. That's why what we'll do, there is another parameter is there, line space. So line space will give, this is 0 to 1, defined any count is there, it will be give the result. So 0 to 1, I want 10 values. In that case, we can able to specify 10 values from 0 to 1. With incrementation, it will take care of automatically. Here you can get the signature from who is section in charge?
Class teacher.
Attendance means you can give it to Pranav if you want, because it should not be empty. Just a minute here. Okay, I will proceed. Mm. So in that case, so we can specify some count, whatever may be the input value, you can provide 1, you can put, or 2, you can put 0 to. Between that, how many values you want, that many number you have to specify. Therefore, 0 to 1, 10 values like that. Now you can see integration, I mean multiplication, A is already there. You want to multiply with 2. So each value is going to be multiplied with 2. That's why 1, 2, 3 is multiplied with 2. So 1 into 2 and then 2 into 2 and then 3 into 2. So like that it will give the result. But whereas here, why the error is coming? There is a 1, 2, 3 is given. B value also 4, 5, 6 is given. But it's showing the error. The reason is multiplication should not be like this. There is a the row and column has to be matched. Then only it is going to multiply. But whereas here vectors, the dimensions are mismatched. But still I want A into B. What you can go is element by element, we can able to use. Suppose first element is 1, then multiplied with second element is 4. So in that case, 1 into 4, then 2 into 5, then 3 into 6. So like that, we have to provide. In that case, how we are going to do that? So in this, you can see 1 into 4 means directly if I give star A star B, it will throw error. But if you provide dot here, A dot star B, in that case, 1 into 4, then 2 into 5, that will take care. So that's what I mentioned here. Like earlier, I mentioned line space. So we are going to be specify this any number of values. That's what I mentioned here. Many other ways are set up the vector. One is only mention one more. So that means this is the command line space. In the syntax, you can see that you can mention the value of 10 or 20 or something. That's what I mentioned here. Run from 0 to 1 and has 100 elements. If you not specify anything, it will take it as a 100 element. But if you specify something, that many numbers is going to be displayed. That is the difference. So without specification and with specified the number, without specified means 100 numbers it will be. And now we can see dot dimension. What is the result? 4 into 1, I mean 1 into 4, 2 into 5, 3 into 6. That is the result. If you not specify dot, then it will throw error dimension mismatch. Our inner dimensions is not matched like that. So other one, indicate to the MATLAB to perform the operation by the star, anything, not only star, you can go for as a dot also. You can see, by. So A dot by B. Otherwise, if you remove the dot, that will be problem. Element by element will not happen. But if we make it as a dot and 1 by 4, 2 by 5, 3 by 6. So like this, we will get the result. And now we can see small problem. 6 to 1. What you have to do is, we shall create a two vectors running from 1 to 6 and from 6 to 1, then demonstrate the use of dot argument. Now, first we need to create two vectors. What are the two vectors? X is equal to something, y is equal to something. What is that? X is equal to 1 to 6. So then 1 is to 6, you can give it directly. But whereas other one, 6 to 1. How we have to get it this? Anybody can answer this? Anyone? Second one, how we'll get 6 to 1 vector? Anyone else? Only thing is you start with 6, end with 1, but incremented by -1. That is the difference. So because starting value is 6, ending value is 1. So therefore 6 is to 1. I mean, in between -1. 6 is to -1 is to 1. That will give the result. Now I will show this. You can see 1 is to 6 is first vector. Second vector 6 is to -1 is to 1. Incremented by -1. Therefore 6 minus 5 minus, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Like that. And operation, you can see dot, you can use the dot. And what is the result you can expect? S square. Anybody can tell this answer? Here power, this symbol is a power symbol. So now X we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, then 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, like that. So it will give like this. So division is element. This element is 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 is there. Element by element division is there, like that. I will show that also. See, s plus 2, s in normal operation. Now multiplication, I said no, dot is required. Then each element of s multiplied with each element of t. And division also each element, and then power also each element of s square it. That will result this. And then you can see this one. Set up a vector x which contain the value from 0 to 1 in steps of 110. This can be done by variety. So what is the varieties? One is line space, you can give it, because what they said is contains the value from 0 to 1. Then 0 to 1 incremented by something 0.5 or 0.05 or something, it may get many number of R. I already mentioned steps also. 110. How to define the 110? First value will be 0, colon, then 1/10, colon, then 1. So automatically it will result. But you can use line space as well. So what is the line space? This is direct entry is wrong procedure normally. 0, 0.1, 0.2, like that up to 1. Because it is a small, we can enter it. But if we go for as a bit lengthy, it is impossible to store that entry values. That's why we have to go with this fashion only. What is this fashion? First is a vector fashion. 1 is to 0.1. 1/10 means 0.1. No, 1 is to 0.1 is to 1. It will give. Our line space, it is start with 0. That's why you are getting as a 11 value. So you must specify 0 to 1 start value, end value, and incremented total value. So total value 11 indicate that in turn that will take care of the what is the incremented value. So that is the different we can specify. And you can see the problem, very simple problem. X plus 2 whole square into x cube plus 1. So how will you write the solution? So for that, x from minus, what they mention, -1 to 1. So what is the step size is a 0.1. Then how to create first x value? X is equal to -1 colon 0.1 colon 1. So that will give. Now y is equal to, how to write the equation directly here? Y is equal to x plus 2 dot square dot into x dot power q plus 1. That's it. Just you define the x, then dot notation. Why the dot notation is x is not a one value. It is taking multiple values. That's why we can able to specify line by line, I mean element by element calculation is required for y. That is the reason dot is required. Now we can see one direct sentence also you can write, or you want to split it, and we can split and write. And the thing is x is given -1 to 0.1 to 1. So then f is equal to x plus 2 and g is equal to something variable. Otherwise, this is the fine simple way. X plus 2, here square is there, no? Each element square, that's why dot square. And here star is there, each element dot, and here power dot. That's it. So directly it will give the, if x is -1, what is the y? If x is equal to -1 plus 0.1, because incremented by 0.1, minus 0.9, then what is the y? And minus 0.8, what is the y? Up to it will be, it goes to 0 and then make it to plus 1. So up to that, all values is going to be displayed. Similarly, here, some more example just I'm showing. Here what they ask, 1 to 2, step of 0.01. What is the x now? X is equal to 1 colon 0.01 colon 2. Then we can write the y. This is the way we can write the code directly. Wherever element by element is required, you have to make it as a dot. Now we'll go for polynomial as well. Suppose a big equation is there, x power 10 plus 4x power 9 plus 3x power 8 and so on and so forth. Then you are solving that is a roots and then equation polynomial. It is all is a little bit complicated. Then that's why what we will do is there polyval is a one keyword. We can mention the equation in terms of coefficients. That is easy for us to calculate each value of parameter. Now we can see I want each value of x. I want to find the y polynomial like previous one only. So what we have to do? I want x is equal to 1. What is the y? X is equal to 2. What is the y? And so on. So instead of giving this way, there is alternate option is polynomial. There is roots also possible. There is a root command is there. Just coefficients root of that will give the number of roots values. But here polynomial value I want. What is the y? Whereas other case root. For this equation, how many roots? 3 roots. What is the root values? 3 root values. So like that, we can able to specify. Now we can see for this problem, what they asked 1 to 6. How to create 1 to 6 instead of entering the value vector directly, x is equal to within a bracket, square bracket 1, 2, 3 can enter the data, or otherwise also x is equal to 1 to 6, it will return the vector. Then we'll go for as a coefficients. What is the coefficient? X cube coefficient is 1, then 3, then -1, then -1. If any coefficient is missing, you must specify with 0. Otherwise, the order is going to be mismatch. Now, you know the x, you know the coefficient, directly go for polyval c comma x. What it will do? You just specify the c and then comma 1, that will be as a polynomial value it will return. So now other one, just we can see other equation also, something whatever it may be, we want to any 50 values or 100 first is generate, take it as a coefficient, poly value will return the answer. And then you can see this example. Now roots, same x cube minus 3x square plus 2x. I want to get the roots. How will you get the roots? Coefficients you take it, roots of coefficients is nothing but equation only, no? Suppose 1 coefficient, then -3, -2, 0. 0 means constant is missing, that's why I place 0. If you are not place the 0, then it will treat it as a x square minus 3x plus 2. But what is our equation? Actual equation is x cube minus 3x square. But if you miss the 0, then the result will be otherwise. Then coefficient, highest coefficient will be this. Order always constant. Then first, second, and so on order will come. That is the reason wherever missing parameter is there, you must specify that with 0. And now the problem, whose is one command. I want to know what are the variables you already used, what is the data type, all these things. In the MATLAB, we don't specify any data type by default. it will take care of that. That is the reason you want to see it is possible. Who's if you type then the written values, I mean parameter A, what is the data type, B is what is the data type, C is what is data type, all these with bytes, all these things, but it's internal process only, we don't require anything. And other one you can see line length. Suppose any vector is there, I want to know how many values. In general, 1 is to minus point, or let it be 1 is to point not 1 is to 5. Then how many values? You don't know. So for that, you can use the, because manual calculation is impossible with that small increment and all huge data may come. That's why I want to know the total variables, length. That's why length is the keyword. You can use length of X or length of Y or A, B, C, anything, vector or thing that will give the count of that elements. And size will give just difference of this. Length will give the count and size will give the rows and columns. If it is a vector, how many rows, how many columns it will specify. Or it is a, I mean, if it is a matrix, it will give how many rows and how many columns. And if it is a vector, total number 1 is to 1 cross 5 or 10 or whatever may be the number of columns. Like that, it will give size and length also very important while you are doing the problem. And how to retrieve this information. So retrieving of information 0.1 means 0 to 1 with increment of 0.1. You got some values. Let us assume that 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 and so on up to 1. So in that, I want any particular value. X of X is a vector. X of 1 will be the first value and X of 2 will be second value and so on and so forth. You must specify within a bracket the number X of 1 or 2 or 3 or something. Now, how to solve this problem? X is 0 to 2, steps of 0.1 and find what is the f of x. Yet x is equal to 0, 1 and 2. This only. So first you have to create that actor. Let it be 0 to 2. And now you have to calculate the f function and the x of 0. You can see your starting value is 0. But that means that here the index 1, you have to start with index 1. But index 1 represent x of 0 only. So we are, because the values start with 0 and then 0.1, 0.2 and so on. No? So x of 1 means this f of x of 1 will return x is equal to 0. What is your f of x? Like that. So these values will go inside and it will return. So that's what function x at x is equal to 0 means you have to specify first only, because start with index value will be 1. So that is the reason we then similarly x is equal to 1. So in that the 11th value is x is equal to 1 because it is started with 0 and then 11th value may be 1. So like that. You have to specify that way we can find this value. Line space or any vector you want to count from first value to end value or end of by 2 or end minus 1 or something incremented by 2. These are all the syntax or general retrieval of the information. Now x consisting of 0 to 10 values only and 1 to 10. First statement execute, it will give 1 to 10. And second statement execute 1 to 5. Something like, I mean half of that elements. Total 11 values may be there because it is start with 0 and incremented by 1. Then 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on it will start. So total will be 11. And this is the solution. Suppose 3, then up to 5. 3 to 5 with incremented by 0.01. So then it will give. So now it is important conditional statement and loopings. This is very important case. After these basics are over, then we'll start the actual programming. Other maybe brief introduction only. And you can see that what is the conditional statement. So if sometimes it is required to execute the certain instructions. Only if that instruction is true, then only rest portion will execute. For that reason, you have to check the conditional statement. If the condition is met, then you will execute some portion. If condition is not met also, you can execute some other portion like that. So we have to specify conditional statements. That is the reason. After this, no, I think we already mentioned in machine learning also on the end part, some of the machine learning algorithms also there. but the coding also we can write it. But if I understand using mass, I mean MATLAB code also is possible to implement the machine learning algorithms, whereas Python code also there. So as you wish, if you are aware the law control strategy of machine learning, then you can apply machine learning or else Python. In general, many people will use Python, but many applications we can use MATLAB as well. Now we'll see this. Did I win the lottery? Example. If then the statement is true, then we have to write some certain of executions or some decisions. Or if it is false, then we'll go for other set of executions or decisions, something like that. Now we'll see if condition. Wherever if we use if, you must specify end. If I use if, then end, then only that clause will be. Any number of else ifs also you can use it, but only one end is sufficient. One if, one end, that logic. Now, if condition you have to write, then if it is true, execute the statement, then it will end. Then maybe next lines of execution will come. And now you can see if A less than B or C greater than A. This is the way you have to check the condition. If it is true, suppose A less than B is true, then you may write C is equal to A plus B, or else C is equal to A minus B based on that. So whatever further statement is your wish, but only thing is Pranav, go to Pranav. Pranav. So now C greater than or equal to 5. If this condition is true, then what you will do? You will write some statement. That's what. This is the way you have to check the condition. Now, first what I shown you is if and end only, but else also. See, if this is true, only this will execute. If it is false, it will go in. It will not go inside. It will come out simply. But you want some other case. If generation is minimum, less than minimum. What is our intention? I want to shut down the plant. If generation is greater than maximum, also you have to shut down the plant. But generation is between the limits, then we all go for something purpose, some statement. It is a condition is good or healthy or something. Like that, many number of ways we have to go with comparison, or I can say that the conditional statement. Now we can see if this condition is true, then you execute this. If not means automatically go to this statement without any checking. Then if not also you want to check, you go for as a if else statement. So in that case, we must use if and else separately, and if else also is possible within a limits. So like this, I will show some other example. You can see the flow chart. It is showing that start with first basic if, then if it is true, it will execute the command one, or if it is false, again you have to check. There is a two options. If it is false, directly you can execute some statement. Again, if false also, you have to check other condition. So like initial data, you have marks, and you want to promote all the subjects, you have to check it. First one subject will check it. It is true. Then you will go for as a again else if also. Another subject you have to check it. Again, if it is true, go for another check it else if, like that. Or false also. Similar fashion, there is, I can see condition one condition, group of statement, then else if, go for this, like that. It is all depends on our requirement, how many checks we want to do, we can do it. But we can see one if, only any number of else if, not only one else if. Again else if you can inside, that is nested loop. We keep on going inside checking, and finally one end is sufficient for one if, one end. But you can see this problem, very simple problem. Read all of you the problem and how to write a code. Simple logic. The question is simple, and the code also mentioned indirectly in terms of the flow chart. What you have to do is if, else if something, multiple. The question is here, you go to restaurant, then bill is 10 rupees or $10, whatever. If it is less than that much amount, fixed tip you have to give. Just for example, you have to give $1.8 for that bill. Tip is this much. Then if your bill is 10 to $60, then tip is 18% of your bill. It is a variable. So even $10 also 10 into 18%. then $60 also 16 in 80. But that's why amount is going to be vary with respect to the bill. And after some point of time, if your bill is greater than $60, then fixed tip 20% will be fixed. Even $70 or $100 also tip is 20% of the bill. 20%. So now how to write a program? First, what you have to do? What is input is required? You should know what is the bill first. For that, bill is equal to, you can fix it there directly. Bill is equal to 10 or 20 or 40 or something, or else depends upon the particular instant. What is the bill? You can ask user to enter. For that, input is a one command. Enter the amount of bill. So for that, what you will write? Bill is equal to enter the input within a bracket, single colon, enter the amount of the bill. Then cursor will wait for your response. You will write something. Then if bill is equal to, because bill is known to you, then what you have to do is, if bill is less than 10, you check it. Then what is the tip? Directly you can write, if bill is less than 10, then tip is equal to 1.8 fixed. Else if bill means, now the condition will bill is less than 10 and bill is greater than 60 something. Earlier I given this statement, x is great or 10 is greater than bill and bill is less than 60. That way also you can use it. Then it will check. In that case, if it is true, then tip is equal to bill into 1.8. Then what you will write? Directly else tip is equal to bill into 1.2. Further, last command automatically default is more than 60, it is going to be default. That's why you can see, enter the bill amount. Then if bill is less than or equal to 10, directly tip we can mention. Else if, again we want to check. That's the reason I mention as if here, bill is greater than 10 or 10 is less than bill and bill less than or equal to 60, then tip is equal to this one. Else, then is it required another check here? No, the reason is these two fail because our condition is only two conditions. That is the reason. If these two are fails, automatically it is more than this, then the tip is fixed of that. So that is the reason I will use this, then end, then you can go for as a display of this. So this is the simple way to write the command. So now I entered bill is a file name. Let it be. Enter the amount of bill in dollars. If we specify 15, then what you will write? Tip is this 18 fixed. What is the fixed is for less than 10 only fixed, but greater than 10 it is 18%. So therefore it will return 15 into 0.18. Similarly, 6 less than, it is a fixed one. It is above, still $20 is a fixed one, not 20%. You make it as a here is a 20. One problem. Yeah, 20%. So that bill must be percent, you can give it. Yeah, 100 into 20% means $20 only. Okay, fine. So like that, you can able to write a program or comparing with the conditional statement. Now this is nested also, I will show. It is a flow chart. Like if fails any number of times, that is the reason given in the row wise, you can see that else, again condition, again else, again condition, like that. True means directly it will execute the statement. Now this is the simple statement. If one condition it will execute, else if another condition execute, else if another condition, like that. Keep on. Then a is equal to 100. If a is equal to 10, then what you can write is class name. What do you want? You can come meet me later. So a is equal to 20. Then if it will check. So all the condition a is 100. So it will check first a is equal to 10. So it will fail. So what it will go? It will go to else. It will check 20. It will fail. It will go here. Again it will fail. Then after checking this money, I don't want any further check. If you feel, then go for else. So I want to check only this. If it is fails, automatically you consider whatever you want, exact value you want to display. Then printf you can use it. This percentage d, all this thing, data type, and slash n will be a new value. I mean another row, it will start like that. We can able to print. So these are some of the example and how to handle these condition. What is y value -1 if x is equal to less than 0? And another one is y is 2 if x is greater than 2. How to write a code? Simple logic. Because why this thing in our basic equation, standard test functions and all, we need to check that condition because our all optimization algorithms, objective function, you have to calculate subjected to the constraint. Many constraint, equality constraints are there, inequality constraints are there. Like that, you have to check the constraints. So that is the reason we have to go with these conditions very efficiently. You must understand. Now see that when it will be 1, I want to display y is equal to 1 if x is less than 0. That's why if x is less than 0, directly write y is equal to -1. But other condition also there, no, y2, when it has to be 2, else if upper condition is fail, then other check we have to do. Else if x greater than 2, then y is equal to 2 end. So this is the way we can able to calculate. If x less than 0, then what is the answer? Anything, just comparing. I mean, if this is true, you have to execute this, else you have to check this condition. Again, it is true, it will go like this. This is the if. Now we can see execution, x is 5. What is the result for this portion? Anybody? For this, what is the result? Anyone? Are you following or simply logged in? Now you can see here. Yeah. So if I use this x value, I mean x is 5. What is condition? X is greater than 10. Then it is a false statement. That's why simply it will come out. It will not print anything. What is there? Because inside only fprintf is there. But x is 5 means it is fail. It will not go inside. Simply it will come out. That is the reason here will nothing is displayed. But another thing, x is 25. If x is greater than 10, then fprintf x is greater than 10, it will display because x is 25, condition is true, it will go inside and it will print. What I wrote is within a single code that will be displayed. The x is greater than 10 I wrote, that's why it will display like this. Something like we have many statement for your understanding. Remainder x by 4 is equal to 0 or not. If it is true, it has to be. If it is false, it will go for next, like that. So I given something and you can read this and able to write a code for this. Because what is our marks? This one ask to enter the marks and then you have to display the grade. Simple logic. So if it is greater than 85, you have to show A grade, and less than 84 B grade, then 69 C grade, 54 D grade, then less than 40 it is a F grade. So like that you have to write a code. Then just take it as input first, then check it if and then else and so on. First take the marks, whatever marks you are getting, enter that marks. It will give the display. So now what you want is first statement, you can see greater than 85. Directly you can write greater than 85. If it is true, display A grade. That's it. Then what is the other one? Greater than 70. The reason is you can see that. So greater than 70, it will be as a, I mean 70 to 84, you can see here. The else if marks is greater than or equal to 70. So already if it is 85 greater than, it will go A grade. Then less than 85 means 84, 83 and so on. Up to how long you have to give the grade B? Up to 70. That's why I am giving the statement if marks is greater than or equal to. But because upper side is anyhow fail, it will check up to 70. So then it will be grade. So something like we can able to write all the condition, it will display. If it is else, final else, then you display as a fail. And switch case, it is just like if else case only. Switch case means cases, many number of case. First identify the case, which case you want to execute. Suppose same problem we want to do Newton-Raphson, Gauss-Seidel, something more or different methods see how. Then you give the option, which method I want to, you specify that number, then automatically it will execute that particular number code. So switch something upper side may be code and it will come switch expression. If case is 1, then it will execute to group 1. Case is 2, go for group 2. Case is 3, group 3. Means case in the sense what value. Suppose case is equal to x. If you mention x is 1, then it will execute first. X is 2, execute second. Like that. That is our switch case. And then you can see some example. Enter any one that we treated as a choice. Switch, choice or case, whatever you want, variable number, any parameter you can use. Then after giving that number, it will go to any of thing, whether it is a 1 or 2 or 3 or something, that particular case will execute. That's what input, enter your ID. Suppose I want to see the roll number 1 data. What I want to do, switch case. So because a lot of data is there in that execution or calculation part, or based on that, I want to see if you give roll number here, corresponding switch roll number, that roll number data is going to be displayed, and similar other roll number, that roll, like that, based on your input information, that portion is going to be executed. This is the conditional switch month. Suppose I want to know month number, if you give whether it is a summer or winter or something, you can give the number, it will display for that switch cases. If you give month number, it will go respect to number and it will display whether it is spring or fall or summer or what. If you given wrong details, maybe 13 or something else, it will be as a bad index, it will show. And giving number also, there is another option is there, menu. If you there is a choice menu, this is header, and then item 1, item 2, item 3, and so on. So that is the case, you can able to get the data. For that, you can see how we are writing. So I want K menu of choose a color, and different colors are given. Or if you go for shopping, then item numbers you can give. I want to click that, that item is going to be scan or whatever procedure you want to follow further. Only it is a how to give the input. For that reason, K is equal to menu choose color. So it will display header is a choose color, and this is buttons, it will display red, blue, green, and you click that button, it will go inside and it will return the value. That K, now you give it to choice is a K, then you click blue, it will display blue. Or if you click something green, that is the number 3, K is equal to 3, and you go there, and what is the execution part is there, it will be executed. This is the example. The pickup menu. What should I do? Then print a message or a plot a graph or a print my lucky number. Something. These are the press buttons. It will get directly by clicking the. I mean, by executing the first line, this pop-up will display, and then you have to press. Suppose you want to print a message you want. First, you have to click this. Then case is 1. Then it will write something, and you plot a graph. It will go to case 2 and execute these commands, and it will print a plot. And then print my lucky number. Whatever you wrote inside this 3, K is 3 now, or pickup variable that is treated as a 3 now. It will go inside this execution. So like that. This is what just I pressed the second button. What is that? Second button represents the plot. It will be print the plot because execution will be like this. This is the menu command. Another thing, loops are there. Just I go through briefly loops and then we'll stop here. Then we'll see next class plots simply. Some plots we'll discuss and then we'll move on to other portion of algorithms. So now you can see how to repeat a for loop. Again, K, start value, stop value, and between is a step. Suppose 1 to 10. Between by default 1, but anything incremented, you have to show that incremented by 2 or 3 or 4 or something. That is start value and stop value and then incremented value. That is the syntax. Now you can see if for I is equal to 1 to 100. You want to execute this text 100 times, you can give like this. Or j is equal to 1 is to 3 is to 20, 200. then 1 to 300 between, but incremented by 3. So first value is 1, then 1 plus 3, then that plus 3, and so on. We'll get it repeatedly up to 200 value. If it reaches, it can stop, or else like that. Just other way also. Instead of giving that way, specific numbers you want to give, you can give it that way also with the array fashion. This way, simple vector 0.1, then point, because we cannot write unequal numbers in the this fashion. That's why what you will do is k is equal to 0.1, 0.3, minus 13, 12, or 7, whatever individual numbers you want, you can specify that way. And this is a for loop. If we again same, first it will start j is equal to 1, it will execute, go back, j is equal to 2 by default, then execute, and so on, it will repeat. Now you can see step by step also is possible. I take an x is once. So what it will print the result after executing first line, anybody? X is equal to ones of 1 comma 10. What it will give? So here all ones, 1 row and 10 columns. So like that, singly 1 1 1 1 it will display. Then what is next? For n is equal to 2 to 6. So first 2, n is 2, it will go inside. See that n is 2, it will go inside x of 2. How to calculate x of 2? 2 into x of n minus 1. So what is n? 2. 2 minus 1, 1. X of 1. What is x of 1? 1 is here, because all ones initially. 2 into 1, result will be 2. Then it will go again. N is 3. Then x of 3. 2 into x of 3 minus 1, x of 2. So that multiplication. So your results will be like this. You can see that first one, then 2, 4, 8, and so on. After that, how long it will be? It is mentioned up to 6 only. That's why up to 6 it will be updated. Remaining all ones, it will be remains ones. So like that, you can able to do for operation. This is step by step. If I execute first all ones, then first value will this value will be updated, the next value will be updated, and so on. After updating this, no other calculation after 32, it will remains in the 1 only. Like, because up to 6 only we mention. If we mention something more, then other value also will update. Now we can see it is also important display. Whatever you want to display within a bracket, that will be directly will display. And other values in a display, it will give the string only. That's why you want to display some number, you have to convert it into integer to string. Otherwise, it won't be happen. That is the reason I want to display I value. I is may get 1, 2, 3, and so on. But each time while it is executing, it should not be write directly I, because I is a integer. But inside the display, it is a string. That's why you have to convert integer to string, then only you can able to get the data. So now for I is equal to 1 to n, for this given the output 1 squared equal 1, because you can see here what is happening. There is a integer to string equals, means what is I? 1. So inside I is 1, that's why integer to string it will convert to 1 squared equal, then 1 square 1. So 1 squared equal 1 first line, then it will go back I is 2, then integer to string of 2, so you will get 2 here. 2 squared equal, here I is 2 mean 2 square 4, so 2 square equal to 4, like that. So you'll get yeah, this way. 2 square equal to 4, then 3 square equal to 9, and so on, it will display. And now we can see the table. I want 7th table or 1 to 10th table, like that. How we'll do is, first whatever you want to display, that you fix it, fixed numbers within a single colon, and other calculation part we can able to use. That calculation part will be integer to string, you have to use it. So now you can see for j is equal to 1 to 10, display this parameter is changing I value only. So 7 into star is fixed. Then first 1 will come, 2 will come, and so on. That is equal to fixed. So equal, you make it within single colon. Then calculation part is what? 7 into 1, 7 into 2, 7 into 3. That's why it is a numerical number. But I want to display in the string, because I use display. That's why integer to string, use it. Now I want 1 to 10th table. Then upper side you can use one more for loop. For I is equal to 1 to 10, then you can change, instead of 7, you make it as I there. then I, integer to string of I, then this will be this value. And here also calculation, instead of 7, you make it as a I. So that way you will get it as a 1 to 10. This is what I wrote here. Anything I or j, any variable you want to use, you can use it 1 to 10, again 1 to 10. Inside it is integer to string, because here 7 is fixed in this case, but later 1, 2, 3, it is variable 1. It will be coming by changing the integer to string parameter. So that's why we have to do this fashion, and we'll get 1 to 10 table. And summation, you want to do the for loop. What is the summation here? N is equal to 1 to 6 to power n. First sum is equal to 0, you define. For I is equal to 1 to 6, you can repeat that up to 6. Then what is sum is equal to sum plus 2 power n. That's it. It will get it. So or sum or total, whatever variable. For I is equal to n to 1 to 6, then total is equal to total plus 2 power n. Like that, any series you can write a for loop, and you can see nested for loop also possible within this for loop. All many things, and then while and end. Instead of for loop, you can use while. There the condition will met, then it will be execute the inside. Then once the condition is not fulfilled, then if it is fail, then it will go inside. When it is true, it continuously execute inside portion many number of times. It has to be repeated. If you are not given repetition, then automatically it will show continuous execution. You control C or to press to terminate that. That's what nested while loop and all. I will show the example also. X is 1 while x is less than or equal to 5, because now we are checking the operation as well. Then what is x? 2 into x is our formula. Then what will happen? X is 1. Then if it is a true, it will go inside 2. Now it will go back while again it will check true. It will do continuously. Then over a period of time, that x may be greater than 15. Then it will come out. That is the result. Now we can see that if it reaches 16 here, then it will go 16 less than or equal to 15 false, then it will not execute further. So like that. Some other break also you can use it. Break command, if this condition inside is a true, then what will happen? We get out of the while loop. So because if we are using inside while, it is checking, because no increment 1 means if this break is not there, continuously it will repeat that enter the number of iterations, enter the number of iterations, like that. That's why while we are doing this process, it has to be incremented something. And these are the some of the example. While x is less than or equal to 3, you have to print this x plus 1. It is increasing, then you will go back while it will check true, and it will write this statement and do continuously up to n is equal to x is equal to less than or equal to 3. If it is more than that, it will come out, loop will be like that. These are the some of the loops, and then relational logical operator and basic information. I will see in the next class some more matrices, and then we'll start. Thank you all. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Otherwise, you can leave. Okay, then you can leave.